is a great danger, huge danger. Because not only am I outspoken, and not only do I still have the stamina to go at this thing at the rate that I go at it, pushing 50. They're pissed because I won't break. That encourages people to do what? Keep trying.
Jaguar Wright has boldly stepped into the spotlight, making waves in the media after the recent legal troubles and arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. Wright has emerged as a vocal critic, accusing Oprah Winfrey of being part of a secretive plan to protect the music mogul. She claims Oprah's influence extends beyond her fame, suggesting a deeper role in covering up controversies surrounding Diddy. Wright's fiery accusations challenge the mainstream narrative, calling on the public to question the power, fame, and accountability in the entertainment industry. As the drama unfolds, many are watching Wright closely as she takes aim at one of the most renowned figures in media, hinting at revelations that could shake the industry to its core. In her efforts to expose the darker side of the entertainment world, Wright has shared first-hand accounts of Diddy's infamous parties. She describes extravagant gatherings filled with celebrities, but also troubling incidents that made her question what was happening behind closed doors. These lavish events, she says, often hid disturbing behaviors, painting a picture of an industry where fame and fortune come with a hidden cost. Wright's courage and outspoken nature have resonated with men.
You know that was going on in the world of Diddy.
He's a He's got guns, and he's got coded VHS tapes.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
Shedding light on unsettling dynamics within the world.
Women have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle. So that's why you had the Viagra. Now see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer, so that relaxes all your muscles. You wouldn't feel it.
Of entertainment. She went on to describe the indulgent treats offered at these gatherings, suggesting they were not just for entertainment, but served a deeper purpose. Wright hinted that these offerings were designed to create a certain atmosphere, one that masked underlying motives and dynamics at play. By exposing these details, she shed light on the unsettling practices that often lurked beneath the glamorous surface of such events. Puff's recent arrest has brought these issues into the spotlight. According to TMZ, Diddy's legal troubles have shaken the entertainment world, following shocking accusations from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. She alleged that Diddy subjected her to physical abuse during their relationship, confirming rumors that many had speculated
in the living room area, and she's there, and he was like, emotional scene, there you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes, and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying it to me. And I'm like, well, she doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. He was upset. I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized oh, this guy is...
Many had speculated about, but few dared to address openly. On a Monday night, Diddy was dramatically taken into federal custody in New York. Homeland Security agents stormed a Midtown hotel where he was staying, carrying out the arrest with urgency, reflecting the seriousness of the accusations. This development is seen by many as long overdue. The arrest has the potential to change how Diddy is perceived and draw attention to troubling behaviors that have long been whispered about in the industry. Adding to the gravity of the situation, sources claim that numerous people, including Cassie's friends, have tried to expose him in the past but were largely ignored. Jaguar Wright has not held back in alleging that Oprah Winfrey is deeply entangled in the disturbing controversies surrounding Diddy and his alleged misconduct. Wright's claims have struck a chord with many, reflecting growing skepticism about Oprah's connections with certain influential figures in the entertainment industry. For years, Oprah has faced scrutiny for her relationships and decisions, including accusations of mistreating people in her inner circle. Critics argue that her platform often amplifies questionable narratives, raising concerns about her judgment and motivations. One of the most controversial chapters in Oprah's legacy involves her association with João Teixeira de Faria, also known as John of God, a self-proclaimed spiritual healer. Oprah once highlighted him on her platform, giving prominence to his claims of miraculous healing through unconventional methods. However, after his conviction for sexually abusing hundreds of women and girls, including his own family members, many questioned Oprah's decision to support him. John of God's crimes, which included operating a human trafficking ring that sold newborns for profit, cast a shadow over those who once endorsed him. Critics point out that Oprah's association with such a figure makes Wright's allegations more plausible, suggesting that Oprah might also shield or align with others like Diddy. Jaguar Wright believes Oprah has exploited people in the past and fears that her influence could undermine Cassie's case against Diddy. Wright has openly expressed her distrust, citing examples like Oprah's
Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are. Where Oprah Winfrey and I have a problem is Oprah Winfrey called us up and she said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer. So my mind thought was, because she said, do you want to come on? I said, I don't want nothing to do with the cat. I said, nigga, I know it's up to a scam, but people can change. And who am I to say he hasn't changed? It might really be different. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I just don't want nothing to do with it. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first. When I hung up that phone, brother, I looked at my husband and I said, that bitch is all right with me. That's a real.
She kept it
because she didn't have to call me up. She didn't have to say my brother was coming. She could have just ran with shit and let it happen. I dig her for that. Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. Now, the reason why that means so much is because in the conversation we had about my brother, we then went deeper. And we began to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me, which I will never repeat because she shared it with me about her mother and father. It might be something she shared with everybody, but wanted to make me feel special. I don't know. Nonetheless, it was in our moment. I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm going to have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is. Shut that down. That's one of the reasons why we don't communicate, because of my mother and father's greed. So if you had given me the opportunity, I would have said, I can't put my mother, that's still my mother. Right. Okay? Now here comes this show. And here comes the commercials. And now I'm starting to see my mother and my father and my other brother, who was my manager. We didn't discuss that, Oprah.
Wait, he was your manager and you went to Oprah?
He wasn't my manager at the time.
Okay.
By now I had already, fired him. So I'm watching this show, and I'm watching my father sit there, who was a strong alcoholic. I'm I'm watching him drunk. I'm watching my mother be greedy. I'm watching my other brother, who was my manager, be greedy. I know my family. And I'm watching my brother who molested me sit on this stage trying to paint this picture of I'm trying to be a help, but now I'm watching the scam. As much as they keep talking, I'm seeing the scam take place. Well, when it was all said and done, Oprah Winfrey calls me. And in that moment, I was still stuck in, this is Oprah Winfrey. How do I say, you had my mother, my father, my other brother, and I'm stuck in that moment. And when we hung up that phone, my husband looked at me and said, what's wrong with you?
Openly expressed her distrust, citing examples like Oprah's contentious relationship with actress and comedian Monique. Monique has accused Oprah of siding with powerful industry figures to effectively blackball her, damaging her career during a critical period. This betrayal was particularly hurtful, given the respect Monique once held for Oprah. According to Monique, Oprah's actions marginalized her voice in Hollywood, further highlighting the darker side of her influence. Wright's revelations aim to prevent history from repeating itself, ensuring that Cassie's allegations—
It's not what we made of. You know how you felt about that and how you feel about that. And you need to let that woman know, I don't care about a title and a position. That's not what you cut from. So it was my obligation to let Oprah Winfrey know how I really felt. Now I want you to understand something too. See, this is why me and Oprah Winfrey had a problem.
It's still there.
Until that woman says, let me apologize to you publicly, it'll be to the day I leave this earth. Because what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
Let them know what you said, which is the reason why there's a problem, because she did actually confront.
Alfred Woodard had a Oscar party for the previous black woman that won Oscars and for the black woman that was nominated, and it was Lupita's turn that year. And she had him all the other years, and I had declined. Just my schedule wouldn't let me do it, or, for whatever reason. It's like, no, thank you. But this year I said, okay. And Oprah Winfrey was going to be there. Now, keep in mind, I was trying to reach out to have this private conversation. No return calls, whatever number she did give, no longer work, just, however it went. I could not get to Oprah Winfrey. So I see her this night. And Alfred Woodard says to me, we want you to understand, Monique, when we go into the red room, you can say whatever's on your heart. Almost like there was a universal energy where this sister knew something needed to be said. I can't say it factually, but she said it to me a few times. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. So they were going around the room getting people's feelings on how they felt about when they got this Oscar. And it got to be my turn. And I really wasn't impressed with the Oscar. So I really didn't have anything to say to Lupita other than, baby, play it your way. This is your turn. So do it the way you want to do it. So you don't look back and say, I wish I would have. No one else can tell you how to do it, but you can do it your way, because it's your name that will be called. You're the nominee. And then I looked to Oprah Winfrey. And I said, you and I need to have this conversation. Why would you have my mother on your show?
This is from...
In front of everyone. So for all the women that were there, the one thing, people can say I'm loud, they can say I'm tactless, they can say I'm overbearing, as Oprah Winfrey has considered me, but what they've never said is she's a liar. Ain't nobody ever said Monique is lying. So for all the women that was there that night, they know exactly what was said. And I said to her, how could you have my mother on your show? That's not what we discussed. And you don't understand what I've had to walk through since you've had my mother on your show. See, I got to deal with women coming up to me in the Walmart saying, Monique, your mama ain't shit. I got to deal with that. Now I got to defend. They ain't lying, but I still got to defend it because that's my mother. Okay, Daddy, but that's the truth. but I still gotta defend it. You don't understand what position you put me in doing that. So now this is my moment to talk to you, and what she did was took the cowardly way out. I won't call her a coward. I'll say it was cowardly, but it was okay. And she said, if you think I did something wrong, I want to apologize. And what my husband taught me a long time ago, an apology is not something that you think you need to give. If somebody else thinks you need to give it, it's what you feel. So she came off like Mother Earth that she is. If you think I did something wrong, no, Oprah, it ain't what I think. You did do something wrong. You maliciously, and you had full intentions of having my parents on your show and not saying anything to me. Was that for ratings?
It seemed like she exploited the situation.
Were you just exploiting me? There's some sisters in this business that are about it. Regina King was there that night. Angela Bassett was there that night. Lynn Whitfield was there that night. Kerry Washington was there that night. There's some sisters that are truly about it because they sat back in those chairs and they were looking like, what we know Monique ain't doing is lying. That's what we know she ain't doing. So when it comes to Oprah Winfrey, let me be clear so people, I'm a little black fat girl from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw this fat black woman on a TV show called People Are Talking. That was a local show. And she had big shoulders and a big bush and big feet like me. And I said, wow, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. And then we took a field trip to that studio. And I hugged that woman. And I said, when I grow up, Miss Winfrey, I want to do what you do. And she said, you know, you got to work really hard. So the day I walked out on that stage to the Oprah Winfrey show, and I was promoting Roscoe Jenkins. And after that show, that woman hugged me and said, when I look at you, I ain't doing nothing but looking at me. And then when I remind her that that's what she said to me, she says, oh, I say that to everybody. Well, then what does that make you? Everybody reminds you of you? Or do you just say things in the moment? So when I say to our community, I know Oprah Winfrey when the curtains closed. I know it when the cameras aren't running. That's why Oprah Winfrey does not want to sit down publicly with me nor my husband to have a conversation, because within minutes, the community would know who Oprah Winfrey really was, because what she's not used to is anybody asking her any questions. I'm the deliverer. I'm the author. I'm the authority of all life and all beings, and I know it all. And someone would ask, well, how?
Aim to prevent history from repeating itself, ensuring that Cassie's allegations against Diddy are not dismissed or overshadowed by powerful figures like Oprah. By aligning herself with certain business leaders instead of supporting Monique, Oprah Winfrey has been accused of reinforcing a culture that often silences dissenting voices, particularly those of Black women. Over the years, Oprah's connections with controversial figures have fueled speculation and criticism, with some accusing her of deliberately associating with such individuals to solidify her power base. Critics argue that Oprah has a pattern of forming alliances that enhance her influence, even at the expense of ethical considerations. This is evident in her associations with figures like John of God and her choices regarding Diddy and Monique. These relationships raise questions about the motivations behind her endorsements and connections, casting doubt on her judgment and the true cost of maintaining her power. Jaguar Wright has stirred significant controversy by alleging deep ties between Oprah Winfrey and Diddy, linking both to troubling behavior behind their public personas. Critics suggest that Oprah's association with influential and divisive individuals might serve to expand her audience and solidify her power, potentially at the expense of others. Following Diddy's recent arrest and the allegations from his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, rumors have surfaced about Oprah's possible connections to the case, including shocking claims about human trafficking. Federal reports reportedly tie Oprah to the allegations, further fueling speculation. Adding to the drama, Oprah's PR team has claimed she is hospitalized due to complications from a weight loss drug, but skeptics wonder if there's more to the story. In an even more disturbing twist, Accusations have emerged about Oprah's alleged involvement in child exploitation, including unverified claims about harvesting children in Hawaii for anti-aging purposes and trafficking from her African school. These allegations, while unproven, have sparked outrage and intensified public scrutiny of her actions and associations. Jaguar Wright's criticisms have also drawn parallels between Oprah and Diddy, with both accused of hiding unethical behavior beneath their public images of philanthropy and success. Allegations suggest they may be part of a larger, covert network influencing the entertainment industry, raising concerns about systemic exploitation. Critics argue that such dynamics make it difficult to recognize predators, especially when they are figures of respect and admiration. For years, Jaguar's accounts of unsettling behaviors at Diddy's gatherings were dismissed as sensationalism or bitterness. However, in light of Diddy's arrest and the serious charges against him, her warnings are being reconsidered. Similarly, her accusations against Oprah, once dismissed, are now gaining traction as people question the morality of her relationships and actions. In a recent interview, Jaguar addressed the public shock, describing the entertainment industry as one that thrives on exploitation and manipulation, with power often overshadowing justice. She remains steadfast, believing the truth will eventually emerge. Social media has become a battleground, with critics and supporters expressing disbelief that figures like Oprah and Diddy remain influential despite the gravity of the claims against them. As the entertainment world continues to grapple with these revelations, many are left questioning how such alleged misconduct can persist while those involved maintain their success and status. Oprah Winfrey's attendance at Diddy's lavish parties.
These people able to keep going on with the career.
What do you mean?
Doing these heinous crimes.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying.
You ain't never had a boy that you know did a whole bunch of dirt and you let him make it? You telling me that never happened? You never had somebody in your life who you know was dirty, who you know did dirt, and you let him make it?
I see what you're saying, but...
Think about that on a corporate level.
Right.
On a corporate level. R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored in the United States. Everybody knew. That's why I couldn't really watch that documentary, because half of the people that was in there, I can't believe he did it. You used to go get the too. I watched you, dog.
Her presence at these high-profile events added an air of prestige and reinforced their mutual respect. These gatherings, often attended by industry executives, influencers, and celebrities, ranged from birthday celebrations to charity galas. Oprah and Diddy were frequently seen engaging in lively conversations, laughing, and enjoying the vibrant atmosphere. Their friendship extended beyond social events, as they also collaborated on charitable projects, emphasizing their shared commitment to philanthropy. What are your thoughts on this connection? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments, and if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Until next time, stay informed and keep it real.